So I want to fumble through these and do maybe one a day if I have the capacity, just to learn the process of these. So bear with me. I'm not expecting a whole lot from this. I'm going to learn. Eventually, hopefully I will get things consolidated into this format, or formats that are more digestible for people to take in with our shortest attention spans these days. But I often go long, and I probably will. So I'm going to use an anecdote from today to kind of just hopefully display a little bit of what it's like to live with some forms of chronic illness, especially fatiguing illness like MECFS, ME for short, myalgic encephalomyelitis, or things like long COVID or other autoimmune diseases and fibromyalgia. All of them can kind of speak to this a little bit, but we're basically, what I wanted to say is the type of fatigue we'd love to have is the type from achieving, the type in our old life. And I know it's, people all get tired, but it's, nobody stops their lives and decides not to work and not to go to the gym and not to go for walks or go dancing or have fun. Those things that tire you out, or taking care of, you have kids, if you have a partner, cooking, cleaning, those are great things to tire out. Doing yard work, things we miss, like to be regular form of tired would be amazing to feel that again. I haven't had that in years. And there used to be periods for me in a milder zone of MECFS where I had almost like mini remission periods, or I was released a little bit from the illness where I would have less what we call post-exertional malaise, PEM for short. And that's just any exertion, which I'm going to get to the one I'm talking about today, which is I decided, because I had a little bit more energy midday, I wanted to cut my hair. And out of poverty reasons and safety reasons and just wanting to learn something, I learned to cut my hair about 10 plus years ago, and I'm not good at it, but I had to take it in my own hands. Sometimes I just shave my whole head off. Today I didn't even do much of a taper or anything. I just mostly, buzzed it off. I haven't buzzed everything. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, really rocking the goofy hairstyle, but whatever. Nobody sees me. First of all, no one really sees me from behind. I'm barely ever out. So this is my exposure here. I've had some pretty goofy haircuts over the time and some facial hair just for my own amusement, I guess. But now if I do more posting, it'll be at least seen by one other person, potentially. But today I had, you might think, well, you cut your hair, what is that, takes a little bit of time, but no, it's exhausting. I had to, and at least the level I'm at, and somebody who's severe MECFS couldn't do this. They couldn't even dream of it. They probably laugh saying, I'm lucky. But it could be a cognitive level. It can be holding your hands up. I mean, just holding your arms up to cut your hair can be absolutely debilitatingly exhausting depending on the level of severity that you have with your illness. So I was able to, and I'm lucky, do a little bit of, I just call it hygiene, but more aesthetics and just grooming, I guess we call it, and cut my hair, and even had the energy to take my little mini vac and clean it up and put things away. And it didn't wipe me out completely. It does some days, and I wouldn't be able to do it, but that's what I want to give the idea of. So some people with ME or MECFS or long COVID, I'm going to say several of these conditions because they overlap, but the main one I can speak to is what it's like to have ME and fibromyalgia together. For me, it can, just that singular task can mean it's going to be hard for me to cook my meal. And I say meal because I'm only really having one meal, not because I'm on a diet, but that's all I have an appetite for. And honestly, with the food costs and everything now, you're going to see, this is as skinny as I've been in 20 years. My cheeks keep sinking in and it's kind of getting scary, but there's not a whole lot we can do with this economy and just a side effect of a certain med that's helping me a little bit. But the consequence is it's tapering my appetite, the low appetite that I even had. So I don't think I'm going to melt away completely or it's dangerous, but I think it's more just going to be super skinny, and that's just the way it is. And those are things as people with chronic illness, we have to let go of certain vanity things, even though it's just as hard for us. Nobody wants to start, whether it's gaining weight, losing weight. We're all entitled to having our desires to be a certain way, or be in control of it at least. And that's the hardest part, is not having the control. So today I was able to take some control. Not saying it's a good haircut, but I was able to at least cut my hair. Here, I'll give you a little more of it. That's it. This is not one of my good ones, actually. I haven't had many good ones, and also as the palette goes away, this palette, I guess the actual canvas to work with goes away. You have less to work with, and as it changes and it's more gray, it's a different texture. So you got to learn, and you figure it out. I like doing it. I've had to learn over the years, like, little ways to make it quick, easy, and I might go more in depth in that sometimes if I have time. But two morals to this story a little bit is that how little tasks can wipe somebody out with chronic illness. And when they say they're tired, that's kind of the level, meaning some it's just bathing. It couldn't be that they were able to cut their hair, but they weren't able to do the shower after. They needed a shower chair, and they just were completely wiped out. But it also speaks to the fact that they have a right to looking, doing certain things to help ourselves or help our self-esteem. It's okay. And I've kind of, I don't know if I've hidden this, but I've talked about it in private with people a lot, that it seems so shameful to be vain in any way, or have any right to it when you're just trying to survive, or when you're in poverty. Can you afford to get anything that's different? And I'd say you're just as the right as anybody else. Sometimes we can't, it loses its priority because we have other things that are taking precedence, like trying to just bathe, or just clean up, or doing basic hygiene like brushing our teeth and stuff like that. So these are things that I wanted to bring out some examples through a story of something I did in real life today. I hope it's helpful for someone. I didn't mean to go this long, but I don't know how to do this yet to where I keep it where people make it really short. Maybe I'll be able to edit and really quickly, but that's the thing. The energy it takes just to do the video is all I got usually. I don't have the cognitive, physical energy to then do much editing. I enjoy some of that stuff because I'm an artistic person at nature, and that's why I'm kind of doing this as well, to connect with people, but also to express in some way. But it's exhausting, and I have to really limit myself and be careful how much I do. All right. I have a feeling I don't know. Sometimes I'm looking down and I don't know how these are done. It's probably more connected when somebody's actually looking in the camera. I got to do that. I am bad at eye contact in general. So even with video, it's not my strong suit. So hopefully I'll get better as time goes on.